Always the goal is the same for me, for the team. We're trying to win the championship. That's the only goal we have, and that's what we're gonna work for. First of all, you gotta get to the playoffs. I think this year is even harder in the West. But you learn. You see how the Golden State played through all the playoffs. They play as a team. They play amazing. They play amazing defense. You just gotta look up to them, and see how they played and learn from it. Obviously, we can't replace JB. He was amazing player, amazing guy. It was really fun to have him on the team. But I think Spencer's gonna have a really bigger role this year. And I think he can do it. He has all the abilities to do it. To be an MVP of this league, not a lot of people can say it, but it's a long progress. Hopefully, one day I can win it. But let's see. First of all, you gotta win it, and then you can talk about like favorites and that stuff.
I think Luka's in a great place. You can see his spirit is high. He's smiling. He feels great. He looks great. And so he's ready to play. And so I think, again, he's 23 years old. We ask a lot of him. And we have to, as a staff and as teammates, we have to try to find a way to make it easier for him. And so that's going to be a great challenge that everyone's up for. Again, I think he's ready to play. And then the relationship that we have, the communication, talking when he's tired or doesn't, have it, then we'll sit him. But we had a heck of a year last year, and that's what we talked about. With the group in there in the locker room, we wanted to close the book. A lot of times, we lost to the Warriors, and everyone kind of goes their separate ways. And so we got to close the book and talk about a little bit about the success that we had last year, having the 5th best record in the league. And then also, there was a lot of guys, accomplished a lot of things individually too. And one of those guys is in New York now, but he was a part of that when you talk about Brunson. And so Wood can score the ball. JaVale can roll with the best of them. So, and we all know Luka's playmaking. So. And then getting Timmy back, I think that's working him back. I know he's excited to be back and playing. So we'll see. Don't know if we're going to try to create 43s like we did in the playoffs because that's what we needed to do to win. But those shots will present themselves, especially with Spencer and Luka being the playmakers they are. I think the style of play is going to be similar, but. You don't have a grasp until you can play and see what happens. And if I was sitting here last year and told you we were going to shoot 43s, you guys probably would have laughed or not believed me. But things change. The game of basketball is something that changes very fast, and so we'll see what we have. Now, if we're a team that can shoot straight early. And we can get to 43s, then that's who we'll be. But we also don't want to just rely on the 3, and that was something that we had to do last year in the playoffs.
I don't really see myself filling Jalen's role per se, right? I think if you look at the team holistically, Jalen's a great playmaker, scored about 16, 17 points a game. I think Tim historically is around that 15 per game or so mark. So in theory, right, you're replacing offensive production there. You're trying to we got a little bit bigger. We and more talented with Christian Wood and JaVale McGee, obviously, in terms of rim protection. Christian Wood's versatility, be able to play the 4 to 5, step out, shoot threes, as well as play above the rim. And then for me, it's going to be go out there and make plays. Remember, J. Kidd last year said, get the ball to Luka, JB, and then Spencer and let them make plays and everybody else do their job. I think now, obviously, volume goes up, but mentality doesn't necessarily change. There were a lot of games I finished games. There were games I played without Luka or without JB. Where I started as well. So in terms of mentality, green means go make plays, try to win the game.
Seeing 7 straight games of Luka definitely helped with the decision of knowing that he's a player who gets everybody involved, and I like being around players like that, LeBron's and Chris Paul's, and players who get their teammates involved, especially big men. So that was definitely a selling point for me. All the attention that he draws and the way that this system is set up to have all the shooters around, it really opens up the lane for players like me who are dynamic at the rim.
It's a huge opportunity for me, just finally being on a winning organization. If you look at my past career, I've been on a lot of losing teams, so I have a huge opportunity to prove myself and prove that I could do well on a winning team. You lose a certain amount of times, you start getting motivated to win. And even when I was with Houston, my main thing was try and win as many games as possible. But things didn't turn out the way I wanted them to. Guys wanted trades out, and I was left by myself. And then the team wanted to go through a rebuild. So I'm definitely more motivated than I was before because I want to win.